Just a different cut of meat. I live on an organic meat farm. Yeah, I know. Actually, I think you've told me that, and I'm going to give you the same reaction as I did the first time, which is that it's fantastic. I mean, it means fresh everything, which is wonderful. The fresher, the better, I do believe. Let me see. I want to see if he's normal, because he was meant to be super persuasive. I think he just had a very forceful personality, you know what I mean? Like, he had a force of charisma. And also, I think that was obviously very much helped by the fact that, you know, Germany at the time was incredibly, an incredibly difficult place to live after the First World War. So, you know, high price of living, inflation, everything that happened over there made it very easy for an extremist to come into power, unfortunately. The Jonestown Massacre guy would be interesting. Oh yeah, that's another good one. Yeah, like how could someone achieve something like that? Okay, because of that pick alone, Simpage is restored. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm assuming it's a good one. At one stage, I kept getting called Genghis Makangas by some colourful patient. What? Genghis Makangas? It sounds like the Irish. That sounds like the Irish descendant of Genghis Khan. Oh, hydrate again. Jeez, I need. We're pouring more coffee, guys. We're pouring more coffee. Lovely. But yeah, so next week, hopefully, we'll be playing some more Pathfinder if the mod gets updated. But I think the Skyrim playthrough is going to continue as well. Like, I don't really want to drop it. I think we'll probably do it on Fridays. Skyrim on Fridays, Pathfinder on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I don't know if I'll be doing Friday next week because I am moving on the Saturday, so I might need to pack loads of stuff up, but we'll see. I'll try and fit one in. So that's a hydrate, and then I need to stretch my bones. Oh wait, do you want me to try and click? Do you want me to try and click? Wrist's not doing it today. Oh, that was one, and another one. Oh yeah, the arms went. Yeah, there we go. There you go. That's my variation of stretching. My name is. Oh, your name is Kang. I see. That makes sense then. No, with the mic bit at the start, it made it sound like it was like Irish. Hence, Kangas. Let me see. Oh, did I misread that? Oh yeah, no. Yeah, there was a mic at the start. I'm not going crazy. Does coffee count as hydrating? Probably not, but it's like, I think Flanders body works different to all of your bodies, right? Like if you guys drink coffee, it's going to dehydrate you. If I drink coffee, it's like my lifeblood. It brings me, and it gives me like an extra 10 years of life every time I take a sip. I will outlive everyone. Let me see. Boo, Skyrim. Boo. I don't know. I gotta give the people what they want. You know? We had 6 votes. Has it went up at all? Has it changed? Did anyone else vote in the Discord? 6 votes for Skyrim, 3 for Dragon Age. This is the thing. I would really like to play through the entire Dragon Age series at some point, or even if I just play through, Inquisition and like do the whole like save file simulation. I think coffee is dehydrating. Must be getting late. Can't type. I mean, I can't type most of the time. I can't even give the excuse of it's getting late. I can't type. Most of the time I can't type. But yeah, no, caffeine is definitely dehydrating. It gives you cotton mouth. It does dehydrate like your actual body as well, besides from your mouth, obviously. But yeah, it is dehydrating. So drink plenty of water if you're going to drink coffee, because then you can flush it out your system. You can pee it out. Okay, I'm going to dip off to sleep. Have a good stream, and I'll catch you in another stream. But for now, I will leave you with the famous line of one of my favorite streamers. Keep on keeping on. Trashworth, same goes to you, buddy. Have a great time. Best of luck with the busy work week next week. I'm sure you'll see me again sometime soon. Until then, keep on keeping on. Stay safe and be happy. Goodbye for now, Trashworth. Take away all the genocide and everything that happened in the war. Hitler and the National Socialist Party is one of the greatest and well-equipped leadership Germany has had. If you took the party and got rid of the terrible atrocities and the war and everything that came with it, then I I would say that, I mean, speaking from statistically speaking, they did greatly improve the economy for their nation. Obviously, I'm not condoning anything that they did besides that, but they did strengthen the economy. Ban Dubz. He's a Nazi. One of my first games I've installed on my new PC is somebody help from what? What am I getting out of here? Why are you getting out of here? Who are you, fisherman? Sorry, did I freak her out? Oh no, it wasn't me. Oh my god, you are a little animal. You were gonna run away and then you came back swinging. I should probably. Okay. So one of the first games that you install on your new PC is Inquisition. Yeah, I would like to play Inquisition. Did you tell me that Inquisition is the one you haven't played, or Inquisition and 2 are the ones that you haven't played? And Elden Ring. Haven't tried Elden Ring yet. I watched a little bit of playthrough for it. It looks really, really fun, even though I don't like Souls games. Or haven't played Souls games in the past, I should say. It's not that I don't like them. I just haven't tried them. But yeah, Inquisition, I actually really enjoyed it. He instituted policies that led to Germany having one of the world's leading standard when it comes to production quality. They were, I mean, obviously they improved the industry greatly because they were able to equip themselves for war in a very short period of time, relatively speaking. I will see you again in this life or next. Gladiator. Trash, what a way to leave the stream with a Gladiator quote. What is she attacking now? What is wrong with you, my lady? Tips bowler hat. And she was never seen again. Is she really just going to wander into the water? Yeah, they did a lot of fucked up shit that should never be forgiven, but they took a broken nation and brought it back to being a global superpower. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of I think that's kind of something to maybe take in retrospect, right? The fact that to take a nation that is so broken and lead it back to being a world superpower, maybe it's the case that to do so they I don't know, it would be interesting to see if they could have done so without being an evil dictatorship, you know? I don't know. It poses the question of like, is that the only reason that they managed to, you know, bring their nation from the ashes, essentially? I loved Origins. Second game was okay, haven't played Inquisition. I thought Origins was very, very, very fun. Ooh, you look tasty. And you have very low health. Yes. I loved Origins as well. I thought it was really, really fun. However, I actually played 2 first. I thought 2 was a lot of fun. It wasn't... Right, let me think of how to phrase this. 2 was a lot of fun when I first played it. When I then went back and played Origins, I realized how much better Origins was than 2. 2 is still a great game. It's just, it's on a different... It's almost like it's a different style of game to Origins. Origins is like very much typical classic RPG. Love it. Dragon Age 2 seemed more casual, like they were trying to allow other people who maybe aren't familiar with RPG games, or old school RPG games, to get involved. And that's fine. I thought it was a really great game. One of the main issues, of course, was that textures and locations were reused so many times it felt a little bit lazy. It's because development was rushed. Fair enough, but still. Don't rush development, guys. Work on your game and release it when it's fully finished. That would be great. Inquisition. Inquisition, I think, is a beautiful game. It is very, very fun. One of its downsides that I would call out would probably be the war table missions, where you have to send off your forces to do different things, and it takes real life time. So you send off your forces, and it takes 2 hours of real world time, because quite frankly, not everybody has real world time to spare just completing missions, especially when those war table missions can lock you out of or unlock side quests and story details in the actual game. Fortunately, if you're playing on PC, you can get a mod that removes those timers, which is great. I would highly recommend it. But yeah, I like Dragon Age in general. I think Dragon Age is great. I have a lot of love for that series. I'm really looking forward to Dragon Age 4. I used to live next to this old German couple a long time ago. They were really nice, but they talked about Hitler now and then, and I always sensed pride in their tone. That's... yeah. Like, I feel like Britain is in a sort of similar position in the sense that, like, we had the Empire, and the Empire didn't exactly do good things for anyone, besides the aristocracy. Certainly improved the quality of life in England, above being total squalor for anyone who wasn't in the aristocracy, but at the same time, it didn't really help anyone besides the aristocracy, the nobles, the king, the queen, whatever. So we're kind of in a similar position in that sense. Actually, I think there's a quest back here that I can hand in, isn't there? We're kind of in a similar position in that we have something to maybe feel like a little bit kind of like the history of our nation is a little bit tarnished, but then again, most European nations do. Whereas Germany, it happened so recently that it must be so hard for any German person to be born and raised in Germany and then say, I am proud of my nation's history. Like, that must be so difficult to live down, you know what I mean? So I can't help but feel kind of bad for people who are brought up in Germany and do have to kind of embrace the fact that their nation has a pretty shady history, you know, at least within the past 100 years. You know what I mean? Origins is amazing. Dragon Age 2 meh. Inquisition, phenomenal. Yeah, again, Inquisition is really, really good. I really enjoyed it. There's a couple of issues with it, but nothing that really breaks the game. Origins was amazing, I agree. Dragon Age 2, again, I thought it was okay, but I think that's because I played it first. I've been back and played it since. I played through 2 probably 5 times. I've probably completed 2 5 times. Origins I've completed like 3 times. Inquisition, fully completed probably like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, the number of locations in 2 was so small, the scope felt too small. I don't even think it would have been an issue if it was just that it was in the one, like, because it's only in one region, right? It's only in Kirkwall and the surrounding lands. I don't think that would have been as much of an issue if the maps that they used for the different areas weren't just reused. Like, there were encounters and stuff for different missions, or different quests, I should say, that were just the same map reused. That was the issue that I had. I didn't really mind that it was only in one region. It was different to Origins, but then again, I played 2 first, so maybe that's why that's my opinion. Like when I bought Dragonborn DLC, $30, shouted a dragon down and was so happy until I climbed on it. It just flew circles. Yeah, Meryl, I'm with you there. I understand that.
Need a room? Talk to Delphine.
Dubz. No, it's not the only reason they were successful. A lot of the benefits and improvements they made structurally throughout the nation happened well before the war. Oh yeah, no, I'm not insinuating that specifically everything that came. I'm not insinuating that the positive changes only came after war was declared. No, that's not what I'm insinuating. Apologies if that's how it came across. Let me see. Even if and the policies and standards they put into place are still seen and felt today. Yeah, I mean, German industry is like well known for. I mean, the German people are quite well known for just being a very industrious people. So, you know, can the English say they're proud of their history? Exactly. Look at all the colonizing and genocides they committed. Yeah, I mean, this is why I referenced England to start with in the UK and said that, like, you know, we have a shady history as well, but like it's kind of different for the Germans, I feel, because they are born in the wakes. You know, like let's say that like terrible atrocities cause a splash in the ocean, whereas like England is sort of riding the gentle current that's came from that big splash like a couple 100 years ago. Germany is still within the whiplash of it. You know, it was like 100 years ago. But yeah, no. But again, at the same time, I don't believe in living with shame for your nation, because at the end of the day, none of us lived back then. Like, yep, the UK committed terrible atrocities from in the colonies and around the world. I don't feel I should feel any guilt for that, because quite frankly, if you want to really go into it, my family wouldn't have even lived in England in that time. My family are Danish, Norwegian, Irish. So I don't feel like I personally don't feel like modern day people should feel guilty for things that their forebears or their nations have done in the past, because there's nothing we can do about it, you know? We don't learn about it in school though, so it's fine. All nations have dark moments in their history, and shit is incredibly messed up, but you can always have a national pride regardless of your past. I think that's the positive message to take. That's the positive message to embrace, I think, Dubz. I think that's a good way of looking at it.
Rooms and food. Drink too.
Sorry, Ognar, I'm gonna have a room, please.
Talk to Delphine.
Oh, I need to talk to Delph. Well, you're a fat load of good, aren't you? Where's Delphine? Hello? I'm currently steering my character one-handed. I think I'm actually doing a pretty good job at it. True gamer moment. Is this Delphine? No, that's Embry. We won't wake Embry. Delphine? We want a room. And then I can get back to talking to chat. Delphine. She has one fucking job, and that is run the inn. And she is nowhere to be found. Can I just sleep in the bed? No, it's owned. Listen.
I'm just the cook, lad.
Okay, so I can't rent a room from you. Is this right?
I ain't looking to make friends.
Okay, so here's your punishment then, Ogna. If you won't rent us a room, we are going to stand here for the next 5 hours, let's say 4 hours, and we're going to just stare you in the face really awkwardly because you will not give us a room. There you go. Fuck you, Ogna. Let me see. People from Germany actually don't think of themselves as Nazis. They created cars and a lot more. Oh no, of course they don't think of themselves as Nazis. I wasn't insinuating that at all. No. Germans are Germans. They're not, you know, just because you come from Germany doesn't mean you need to associate yourselves with that part of history. My point was more that, I was more pointing out that like some people might worry about, thank you very much, Dubz. Some people might worry about actually celebrating national pride because of things that have happened in their nation's history. Let me see. Dubz says, haha, shit man, got me to bring out my intellectual side. I'm such a history buff. I appreciate talking history. I was always a bit of a history nerd myself. However, I cannot claim to know too much.
Food's hot. Never said it was good.
I'm Irish too, down with the English school. I think basically I'm just I don't know. I suppose I'm an immigrant boy. Or at least from far enough back, and I am. Like third generation, I think. Third generation. Danish, Irish, Norwegian. I don't know. I think maybe the Danish and the Irish side is where I got the whole. Well, I'm a tall boy, so I think that's where that came from. Trivia. Does anyone know which empire had the largest span? British, Roman, Mongolian? I think Mongols. Yeah, I agree with Dubz. The Mongolian Empire probably had the largest span, I would assume. Definitely. I actually would say that I think the Mongolian Empire was probably one of the most awe-inspiring empires from the world's history. Although I do not want to get into a debate about that right now, because I think I'd probably have to go and do a little bit of reading up first. So I suppose I could say my uninformed opinion is that the Mongolian Empire is something to be in awe of, even today. Yeah. This was a question in pub trivia. Oh, right. Wow. Good question. Embrace says China? Question mark? China, that's another good point, actually, because I don't know. I mean, when did the Chinese Empire sort of end? And begin, come to think of it. Kangster says, I'll type the correct answer soon. Please do. Now I want to know. I'm gonna guess either Mongolian or Chinese, come to think of it, now that Embrace has mentioned China. Amazon has the largest empire. It's the British Empire? Really? Really? That's crazy. Britain? That seems mental to me, because I really don't think of the Brit, because I don't know, I feel like there's been so many different. What is this?
If I were you.
Your cow's got some sick tats, man. What's all this about? Hey there, boy. How you doing? You're a cute little milker, aren't you? Persian, Russian, Britannia. Persia is cool. Why do you think the pound is so strong? Is the pound, I don't know, I mean, I really don't pay too much attention to the economy, it's depressing to me, but like, is the pound still considered to be strong? I feel like lately, like the past, 10 years or so, I feel like the pound's only been going down, but then again, I suppose other economies around the world have also been going down, right? No, they're correct, Mongols had the largest. It's hard to imagine the British having such an empire now that we're small. Yeah, the final nail in the coffin for the British Empire, I would argue, is probably in the 60s. To give like a layman's explanation as to why I think that, as a result of Egypt closing the Suez Canal, which was, I believe, if I remember correctly, they closed the Suez Canal because basically I think Israel launched an attack on Egypt, claiming that land in Egypt belonged to them. and Britain and France, I believe, backed the Israelis, and I think the Americans backed the Egyptians, possibly. Don't quote me on this, but either way, so the Egyptians closed the Suez Canal. So as a result of that, to transport oil and other goods, we would have to go all around the Horn of Africa, you know. So it increased travel time massively. In response to this, the British government, I believe, or I don't think it was Her Majesty the Queen. I think it was the British government. They commissioned a tanker, or a series of tankers. One of which was the most known one was called the Northumbria. It was the largest tanker of its time. It was enormous. I cannot give an exact quote as to how big it was. You can look it up online, maybe tell me in chat. It was enormous for its time. And it was going to be an oil tanker that would be able to bring us so much oil in one trip that we wouldn't need to use the Suez Canal. Unfortunately, the people they put in charge of making the oil tanker weren't exactly the smartest people. What they did is they basically took a smaller ship and they scaled it up, and that's all they did. They did not reinforce the hulls. They did not do anything to improve the structural integrity of the ship. So after every journey that the Northumbria did, it had to be repaired. It had to have patching on the hull, and there was a great fear that there was going to be an immense oil spill because of this ship and its sister ships that were with it, that were made with it. Now, I don't know the full intended lifespan of ships, but I mean, I'm pretty sure we still use ships over here that are like 30, 40 years old in some cases. The Northumbria only lasted 12 years and then it had to be retired. It cost so much money for the Empire, or for the government, should I say. It cost so much money for Britain, or the UK. It was so inadequate. It was so poorly made. It was such a big mistake that we made. Okay, there's a dead white on guard there. It was such a big mistake, and it crippled us so badly, and it was so embarrassing that a lot of people tend to view that as being the nail in the coffin for the Empire. That's when we truly became irrelevant in the world, because we stopped having any economic power. Fair enough, we gave up like the colonies, like England gave up their colonies and blah, 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 blah. But the real nail in the coffin, I think, was when they lost economic supremacy and the ability to create industrial wonders. And that was the Northumbria. So, there you go. There's a little history lesson for you. Feel free to correct me on anything that I might have gotten wrong if you do a little bit of reading yourself about that and realise, oh wait, that fact wasn't actually quite right. Feel free. But that's how I recollect it. My recollection of it. Largest or longest lasting?